Well, for Glory Hope Mountain, the process for coming up with the concept for that record was really, it was pretty organic. We just finished an EP in 2005 called Blankets, and it was pretty weighty and it was pretty emotional, and it centered around relationships. And I think as a songwriter and an avid fan of music, you get kind of tired of hearing about that kind of same old thing. And we were brainstorming ideas for recording, and I had mentioned to my bandmates that I was going to be documenting and interviewing my mom for like a genealogical project, like this beautiful family book that my great uncle started in the 50s, and I wanted to add her story to that book. And our old guitar player Howie was like, you really should, maybe you should, once you've got the stories, you should maybe draw some inspiration from that. And lo and behold, even as I was conducting the interviews, I was really taken aback by the complexity and the like serendipity and borderline magic and surreal qualities of my mom's life, her early life especially. And I was incredibly inspired, and so that turned into some grant applications, and then that turned into about 2 years of writing and recording, and that was Glory Hope Mountain. And it ended up being exactly what I kind of dreamed it to be, and it was this beautiful collaboration of lots of artists and the band, and it was just this incredible. It turned into this really wonderful portrait that I'm really still proud of. And so coming to No Ghost was, after touring that record, touring Glory Hope Mountain for 2 years, it was pretty daunting, kind of thinking, like, how are we going to approach songwriting now? And it felt like we kind of painted ourselves into a corner, and people kept asking about the concept for the next record and stuff like that. And so you kind of ignore all that and forget about it. And so what we did is, since we all live in 3 different cities, we decided to rent a cottage north of Ottawa in this isolated area of Quebec, and it was amazing. It just happened to have a private lake, which was pretty nice. And we just decided to write as I think writers do in the day-to-day. You just kind of write about whatever inspires you and whatever sort of happens to be present and at the fore of your mind. And what that turned out to be was really an interesting collection of, I think, feelings that have been sort of welling up in myself and the band over the last 2 years. And I think also a bit more confidence in writing from a first-person perspective. And we drew on everything. We drew on experiences we had together. I drew on just falling in love with someone, just like really simple things, life, death, the universe, and at first, I think as we were writing the record, I think I was pretty terrified that it had no cohesive quality, no cohesion at all. And as we were finishing mixing the record, I could actually see that there was a nice little story that No Ghost was telling, which was pretty surprising, because I didn't think the record had any kind of thematic sort of thread at all. But we were really inspired by our natural surroundings and the isolation that we felt at the cottage. But it wasn't that sort of typical isolation, woe is me, I'm alone in the world, nothing like that. It was just we were reflecting on things as common and present as creation and where we fit into the picture of things, and even as melodramatic as the end of the world in some sort of loopy kind of ways. But it's a pretty interesting collection of songs, and I'm